discuss with you about how to install a sponge res plug onto your body board. It's really durable, and one of the great things about this plug is that it doesn't go all the way through to your sling. This is the sponge res leash plug that we've been talking about. It comes like this. You can buy it for $8.95. Pretty much everything that you need except for the tools. It comes with a cutting tool, the epoxy, and of course the important part, the plug, and it also has a few what they call little power prongs. Instructions on the back of the package, by the way. I would recommend reading those 3 or 4 times. Just open that up and you're ready to go. The other things that we have here, you can see those little gadgets there. That's the power prongs, that's the cutting tool, and that's the glue or epoxy you're going to use. You're also going to want a Sharpie or something to mark this with for depth, as well as a pair of pliers, utility knife, not a bad thing to have on hand, and you're going to need a screwdriver to kind of dig out the core of the board. Close up. Okay, one thing that I want to mention is before you unwrap your board, you're going to notice this sticker which says do not plug here, because there's a stringer there. When you're putting the plug in, you don't want to hit that stringer. That really could mess up your program. Okay guys, so the next couple of things we're going to cover is you're going to want a Sharpie, because you want to mark the depth of your cutting tool right here. And it's really easy. All you got to do is remove the cap, place your Sharpie on top of that, and then just turn that around, drawing a line all the way around it, and that gives you the depth that you want to go into the core of your board. So, there you go. Mark your depth, get your prongs ready, and do the dangerous cutting. Okay, so we've marked our cutting tool with our Sharpie, and now it's time to actually pick the spot on the board that we're going to put our Sponge Res Pro plug. I'm going to lay my arm here, staying away from the stringer once again, and I'm just going to place the plug right there. This will make a real nice connection that's close and comfortable for me. And once you're satisfied with where you're going to put it, you can just kind of put a couple dots like that, and now we're ready to cut. So now we're actually going to cut the hole using the cutting tool that came with our plug, and we've marked it all off, so we just kind of center that up, and it takes a little bit of work, but we're just going to kind of cut right down into the core, just like that, a little bit at a time, just moving it back and forth. Kind of do it like a saw. Okay, and as you can see, our line is even with the top of the deck in a resting position, because if you haven't made it to the actual depth, it'll kind of spring back up. But now we've cut our hole, and it's time to go ahead and remove the contents of the core. To do that, what we're going to do is just kind of pry at it a little bit. We're going to take the deck material off first. Just carefully removing it, just like that. You can kind of see that there's a mesh material between the deck and the core. And you just carefully kind of pry at that. And you see that the core is going to come right out. Just like that. You want to make sure that you get all that foam out of there that you can, and try to get the bottom to be as level as possible. I think that's about it right there. You can check it with the cutting tool once again, just to be sure. Once you've removed all the contents, cutting tool should just drop right into place to the proper depth. Just like that. Take too much out of it, but you definitely want to have enough room that the bottom will get enough epoxy on it to make a good seal, because when you're done, this is all going to be enclosed, and that epoxy, and it's going to make this hole watertight, so you never have any penetration from the ocean. And now we're ready to go ahead and get the epoxy out and install this plug. To do that, we're just going to remove the cap on the top, little cookie thing. So we poke into that, and then we're just going to apply a healthy portion of this into the hole that we've created, all around in the bottom, just like that. Then we're going to take this little piece of wood that I found laying around and kind of smear that all up on the sides. So you've got about 10 to 15 minutes before this starts to skim up. And you're going to try to keep the glue mostly in the hole. I'll show you how to clean the glue up in just a minute, but we're going to squeeze a bunch of glue in there, just like that. Tap on it, let it fall on the floor, that's okay. Squeeze that all around, just like that. Now you take the plug, place it over the hole, and do it like that. You take your pliers, grab onto it here, push it into the hole, and then at that point, get your level set, turn it, quarter turn, just like that. That's the way it goes in the hole. Position, just like that. And what you've got is a nice watertight seal. At this point, you're done with your project. You've got to let it set for at least 24 hours. Like I said, it skims in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you get glue that oozes out, you can clean it up with some mineral spirits. We also cleaned up the dots we made for positioning with the same mineral spirits. Alright, there you go. 24 hours from now, you're going to be ready to hook up a leash and get out there and rip it up in the surf.